Hello, I'm Erin Eisenman, and I serve as the principal at Eisenhower Elementary School. And I'd like to take this opportunity to spend some time with you going over the highlights of the Indiana Area School District Health and Safety Plan as it pertains to Eisenhower Elementary School. I know these have been very tough times. I know that things have been very chaotic, confusing. We've been thrown into what they call the new normal now, and we're not sure exactly what's going to happen as we approach our school year. But I'm going to do my best to explain to you what some of these things will look like here at Eisenhower Elementary School. If you need help or if you have further questions, please feel free to reach out to me, call me, email me, let me know, and we will work together to solve the problem. So in our health and safety plan, there are four major areas I'd like to go over today. First is facial coverings. Second is social distancing. Then how our procedures in the cafeteria and dining areas may look a little different. And then what will happen during arrival and drop-off times here at Eisenhower Elementary. So face coverings are required and need to be worn indoors or when 6 feet of social distance cannot be maintained, and also outdoors when 6 feet of social distance cannot be maintained. Students will be wearing them on the bus. The bus drivers will be wearing them on the bus. We'll be doing everything we can to clean things, keep things healthy and sanitized. Students getting on the bus will have to have their mask on, and so forth. I'm calling it masks in motion. That's anytime that we're in the hallways, we're walking to the cafeteria, those kinds of things that they will be wearing their masks. We can remove them in instructional areas if we can maintain 6 feet of distance. Right now, I'm not sure which rooms that will look like and how that will look, but if we can possibly do that, we will do that so that students will be able to remove their masks during instruction. If we cannot maintain that 6 feet of social distance, then we will be wearing the mask during instruction. If you have a documented exception, IEP, a 504 plan, or some other health concerns, please call me directly. If your student can't wear a mask or can't do something, we can look at other options and things we can do to help you and the student. Facial coverings, we will have breaks. I know nobody likes to wear them. They're uncomfortable at times. So we are going to schedule regular breaks throughout the day in our classrooms and during some of our things that we're doing to make sure we have a chance to just take them off and have a break from having them on. That will be during recess, during lunch. Teachers will schedule some times in their classroom when we'll take a break. If a student needs a break, all they have to do is let the teacher know, and they can go out into the hallway, remove their mask, maybe get a drink, and just relax for a few seconds, and then put it back on and go back to class when they are ready. We're going to try to incorporate these breaks, every 30 to 40 minutes. Again, it'll be on a rotating schedule based on what the classroom teacher and our schedule as far as lunch and things work. Social distancing is listed on pages 13 through 15 in our health and safety plan. I've already talked a little bit about facial coverings. We are going to be teaching hand washing. We're going to be washing hands. We're going to be taking breaks to wash hands throughout the day. We're going to be washing our hands many, many times throughout our day. We're going to do our best to keep the 6 feet physical distance, both inside and outside, and in our cafeteria and other places. Our buses, our classrooms, our hallways, restrooms, and cafeteria, we will be all working towards that goal. Please encourage your students to follow the plan, support them, give them reminders, and that's kind of going to be our approach. We're going to take this from an encouragement and a support and reminder kind of thing. We're we're not going to be punitive and those kinds of things, but we do need to all realize that we're in this together, and whether or not the school stays open is going to depend on whether we follow these guidelines or not. It is a collective responsibility that benefits the whole, and I can honestly say that I want nothing more than for you and your students to be here at our school, participating and doing the things that we want to do and learning and educating. In our cafeteria and our dining areas, that's listed on page 14. There is a link to the specifics of Eisenhower's plan. Cafeteria is going to seat approximately 30 students. Some students will have to eat in their classrooms with supervision. Cafeteria schedule will rotate so that all students are not like eating in their classroom every day, and everyone will have an opportunity to eat in the cafeteria every, once a week or so, that it's not the same old always in the classroom. Students will remove their face coverings to eat and will be 6 feet apart. That is approximately 3 students at one of our tables here at Eisenhower Elementary School. Also, if weather is permitting, groups of students will be able to eat outside picnic style. We're hoping to utilize the nice weather as long as we have it and give students an opportunity for those kinds of breaks outside in the nice weather. For arrival and drop-off and dismissal times, that's on page 9 of our plan. Walkers, if you're a walker to Eisenhower Elementary School, you need to come to the front door, have your temperature checked. The teachers will ask, or the teachers doing the screenings or the health people doing the screenings will ask a few questions. Please make sure before you send your child, you've done a temperature check, you've done all these things to make sure that they are safe and healthy and ready for school. If your child is sick, please, 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 please don't send them to school. I know that, that gets tough sometimes, but we want everyone in our building to be healthy. So therefore, please don't send them to school if they are sick. Again, walkers will come to school, come to the front door. There'll be someone there to do temperature checks, and then they will come into the building. Car drop-offs, you're going to continue to do the same procedure that we've always done with you dropping your students off at the the west end of our school street of our building. There'll be people there who will take the child's temperature before they exit the car. And then once they have their temperature checked, they will exit the car and they will come into the building. If they would happen to have a temperature, then they will not be allowed to come into the school building. Buses, when the bus arrives, temperature checks will be done on students as they exit the bus. We will socially distance them, call them off one at a time kind of thing in a rotating order so that we can do the temperature check and then they can come into the building. At the end of the day, we will have staggered dismissal times. Buses will be set up one way. Walkers will go out a different exit, and so will drivers. At Eisenhower, we will continue the car pickups the same way we have in the past off of Wine Street. So if you are picking up your child, you will pull up on Wine Street. Someone will call to the car, and then we will send the child out to the car. Face coverings will be worn during the departure and as long as the student is on property for dismissal, arrival, etc. At this point, we're going to work with grab-and-go breakfast in the classroom. When students come in the door, if they want breakfast, they can go grab it and then go to their classroom directly, and they may eat their breakfast in the classroom. We're hoping that as time goes on, we can offer other options for our students. Social distancing and VPA or recess, whatever you would like to call it. We're going to maintain 6 feet of distance and face coverings can be removed. Playground equipment will be accessible. We will probably be doing that on a rotating basis so that students are not overwhelming a playground area. At this time, the plan is to have 2 classrooms on the playground at a time. Indoor activities will be spread throughout the building. So if we have to have indoor VPA, we're going to spread it out throughout the building, and we're going to do all different kinds of things there and have maybe a variety of activities available to the students so that they have some things to do. Students will not use VPA time to complete classwork or as a behavioral consequence. All students will have 30 minutes of VPA daily. We are going to make sure that we have that time so students can take their masks off, have that break, and just be able to then learn in the afternoon and become, good learners. I know I've covered a lot of material. I've explained as much as I can about how our building is going to look, what our things are going to look like. If you have further questions, our town hall meeting is on Tuesday at 5:30. So please join me then, and I will do my best to answer questions at that time. Please feel free to email me, call me. I am at the school pretty much daily, and I'd be happy to work with you and see what we can do to make this a good school year. Again, I know these times are troubling. No one likes wearing the mask. No one likes doing these things, but we need to remember that we need to do this for the greater good and that we really want to have our children here at school. And in order to have them here at school safely, we have to follow these guidelines and we have to work together so that students can be educated in a way that is good for them and good for our community. Thank you, and I wish you a good evening.